Good morning, night, afternoon. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a nice little look at the 2015 HSC for IPT, question 28. This is the multimedia question. This is by me, Axel, and the question's about multimedia systems. Nice. So, taking a look at the contents of what I'll be talking about today. Over on the right, we can see every question right now. I'm going to dive into these real good. I'm just having a nice little look through and breaking down what each one has to offer. I will be discussing the question and its relevance, then how to approach the question, NESA's recommendations on how to answer it, how to properly answer it using all information learned through the course, and then finally I will provide my own sample answer, which you guys can copy, feel free. Right, getting into it, question 28. I'm pumped. Multimedia systems, I can't wait. I get a white of my teeth. Alright, starting off super easy. Question A. What is a multimedia system? For 2 marks. That's all you gotta say. What is a multimedia system? A multimedia system basically combines the different types of media. This is NESA's definition. Different types of media, and these can include text, still images, animation, audio, and video, anything like that. Super easy. So putting this into not NESA words, a multimedia system is a part of an information system that is present all over the world. These multimedia systems combine a multitude of different forms of entertainment, being images, graphics, text, video, audio. So basically anything is an entertainment or education video. You can even call this one a multimedia system, as it contains text that is everywhere, still images. What are you looking at? A still image. Animation. Well, these transitions are pretty baller. I'm just saying. Audio, me talking. I've got a lovely voice. I already know you know. And video. Cool. Right, for 2 marks, nice and easy. Okay, next question. We're starting to get the heat's trying to turn up, but we're still sitting at like maybe 20 degrees. It's not too hard. Alright, what are the advantages of producing an online version of a magazine compared to its printed counterparts? This is a 3 marker. To get all 3 marks, we just need to outline the advantages of producing an online version compared to a print version of a magazine. We can use examples if we're struggling. Nice and easy. Alright, a print version is static. That's the main thing we need to just think about. A print version is static. It can't move, can't think, can't talk. While the online version can be updated easily. Easy as that. Now, elaborating onto this, just to make sure that we get the marks, because if you just write that, it's correct. But you're not going to be getting any marks. You get 1, maybe not even. Alright, elaborating though. In physical and printed in masses, print copies of magazines have their drawbacks. These can include being limited only to the physical form. Magazines can only have images and text while they lack audio and motion graphics, which online magazines contain. Printed magazines are much less portable than the online counterparts. As phones have become an attachment to the human body nowadays, it has become much easier to access these online magazines. Alongside this, it is now possible to edit the magazines in real time without having to reissue them, meaning costs have drastically reduced when moving to digital. Like, I can bet that everyone has a phone within a meter of them, literally. Mine's right here. Not very good, but we all have a phone. And having them so close, it's easy. You got to change. But yeah, we're not about that. I digress. I'm very sorry. 3 marks, easy. Easiest 3 marks in my life. On to question C. Again, slightly harder. Alright. Distinguish between the hierarchical and non-linear storyboard layouts. You may support your answer with diagrams. Now, when NESA says you may do something, so in this case you may use diagrams, you should, and you most definitely should, to get all the marks that you need pretty much. So for 3 marks, 1 of them is most likely for having the diagram. So basically, yeah, we just need to clearly show the differences and talk about them. A hierarchical layout is a distinct top-down design. As we can see, this is the one on the left, the structure on the left. It has a master page, which can be this one. Let's just say the one at the top. A master page containing links back to all the other pages, including the master page. So these two headed arrows going back and forth mean that you can go to and fro each one super easily. Now onto non-linear structures. Again, your master page is here, but it might not be here, but it is a lot more random pretty much. Non-linear has no particular structure. That's the main thing to keep in mind. The one on the left, hierarchical, is symmetrical pretty much and is structured deeply. Non-linear, it's unstructured, doesn't really follow anything, but it still functions. It does the trick. If that's what you're going for, then that's perfectly fine. Putting that into non-Nessa words, we get something on the lines of a hierarchical structure when it comes down to storyboards involves a direct top-down view of the structure of a system in format. This format has a master page which contains links to other pages and from pages including the master page. So again, we can go back and forward from the master page and all the links in between. Something smells good. Non-linear storyboards involve sporadic movement between pages. The user or participant may move between these segments in any order. So again, going back to our examples provided by Nessa, it's totally fine just to copy these, put them into your own because they're an image that they probably drew up. Nice and easy. Well, they have one-headed arrows, just meaning the flow can only go in one direction. Still super easy to understand. 3 marks. Banger. Right, on to question D. 4 marks now. So starting to get into paragraph territory. Describe how a heads-up display and headsets used in virtual reality applications. I just wanted to add something that nowadays, as this was made 7 years ago, virtual reality and augmented reality, stuff like that, the technology has changed drastically and it's very different to how it was 7 years ago. So I'm answering this in the lens of 2022 rather than 2015, just because it's easier to understand and approach for our HSC coming up in the next couple of months. Alright, so to get it, basically we just need to describe how the heads-up display are set and used in virtual reality applications, giving examples and how they're used, kind of. Alright, heads-up displays can involve a pair of glasses. Example. This is where participants watch themselves reacting to the environment. I really like that. This is overlaid onto a virtual terrain, which allows users to experience a simulated life. Now, I love that definition. That's a really good definition. However, it doesn't elaborate. I mean, I read it as just very condensed. It's very condensed, concise. That is what it is. Now, using that information and what we've learned through the HSC IPT course, we can expand that, turn it into something worth that 4 marks really easily. A heads-up display is a device that can alter the appearance of reality present to the participant. Having that at the start, nice. These can include forms of virtual reality, augmented reality, on-screen projections, and any other real-time altering arrangements. These are applied to be worn and used to change the perception of what is in front of the user or participant. These appliances may take the form of sunglasses that apply critical information onto the lenses, which can include in-flight information, speed, location, and anything that does not require too much concentration. Oh my god. As if something's right in front of you, you're going to be looking at it quite a bit. So it cannot take too much focus off of what is directly in front of you. VR headsets that are placed over the head cover the whole field of view of the wearer. Applications of these would include arrangements of virtual or augmented reality fields. So, experiencing a simulated life. So I didn't write this down because you didn't need to, but being like a flight simulator. Having that drastically reduces the cost. So for a military base or military training, you don't need to destroy a plane if someone messes up. You just give them a little, I don't know. Not good. Okay, finally, these may apply real-time information to the text on the glass sheets, similar to glasses seen in cars to display real-time information on the dials. So some dashboards have the speed, revs, stuff like that, fuel, just projected onto the dashboard so you can see it really easily. Nice, I love that. Okay, we're on to the very last question now, so bear with me. We're almost there, almost finished the HSC. Make sure you have plenty of time for this one. It will take the most time. 8 marks in total. it's a, what's it called? A scenario question. So really do pay close attention to what is being said. So put on your scenario hats. A new transport system has been proposed to consolidate the management of buses, trains, and ferries. Oh, Opal. The proposed system will have a centralized multimedia information system that will provide customers with access to maps, transport, timetables, and live visual and audio alerts about traffic and road conditions. Too many ands. Customers can access this information using mobile devices. Okay, we see something similar to that one nowadays, as bus stops have those QR codes that you can scan to get the real-time information on when they're going to arrive. Alright, now that's not too important though, because again, we're answering this particular HSC from 2015. That probably wasn't too big of a thing then. Alright, for the first part of the question, EI, we need to outline skills required of the content providers and the system design of the centralized multimedia system. So basically, just need to clearly outline, without discrepancy, the skills required of the content providers. Then for the second one, II, discuss technical issues that could arise from implementing the centralized multimedia system. We'll get back to this, but basically just outline technical issues for and against the issues required by the multimedia system. Nice and easy, we're going to get back to it. Full marks, you know it. Right, now outline the skills required for the content providers and the system designers in the design of the centralized multimedia information systems. The sample answer would read as follows pretty much. The collection of material needs to be provided, so audio, image, and text. Then the skills for these specific fields is also required to make sure that it runs smoothly. Then there also needs to be leadership skills present to make sure that everything can flow well, but that's not too related to the question, but it is nice to have if you're struggling. All right. Putting that into my own words, to be able to implement the system, many skills will be brought to the employees of the new system to collect text, audio, and graphics of the road conditions. Thus, workers will need to have to be trained in these specific fields of implementing these processes and transferring them into a mobile phone app. These will include observations of the road and medium of transport to identify any reason of the delay or hindrances. Additionally, services and a team will be needed to be able to transform this information and apply it to the application that will run smoothly for the receiving user or participant and also to monitor the development of the system. So here I elaborated slightly on all those points. That's all you need to do for that 3 marks. Just do it enough for the writing space pretty much. Alright, then on to the very last question. Get your hopes up, we're almost done, but make sure when you finish this, you go back through the rest of your paper and make sure you've answered everything, check everything, make sure everything's okay. Got to make sure you get the highest possible mark for this. IPT, scales, it's an interesting scale curve, so just get the highest mark you can. But I digress. Discuss technical issues that could arise from implementing the centralized multimedia system. Alright. All we need to do, outline technical issues that provide clear points for and against the issues regarding the implementation of the system. Shouldn't it be too hard? Alright. Over here, in the sample answer, we can see that it requires a great deal of primary and secondary storage. So this is the physical aspects of it. A great deal of primary and secondary storage, processing power, and bandwidth for all this combined for something like transmission. System designs will need to be used to reduce the size of the files, make sure that they're compressed, while maintaining quality and clarity of the display. Easy. Also making sure that compatible file formats are used. You don't need to elaborate too much on that, because you don't need it too much, but you can if you want. Addressing copyright issues and updates are incorporated because, some of the things being used aren't going to be owned by the people making it. So copyright laws will need to be ironed out, which I'll get into after I answer mine. Okay. Rewording this, the final question, nice and easy. Due to the inherent limitations and the nature of implementing these kinds of systems, their drawbacks have an inbuilt map, audio, graphic, text, and images that come with its requirements. These requirements would include high demand for fast and reliable storage to send and receive data and information collected. Additionally, enough processing power is needed to make use of this and package it into a presentable manner for the receiver. Having the bandwidth to be able to package the information for the user in a manner that allows for minimal package loss and resources wasted for unwanted information, while also balancing out maximum clarity and reliability of the information is critical in a fast and reliable system. Due to the large number of smart devices, the large number of types of smart devices, this will mean that possibly the data will have to be reformatted for each one of these types of devices to ensure that all information is able to be read and unpackaged to the largest amounts of devices. Finally, as third-party clients will be used, for example, a host platform for a map, copyright issues and permissions will need to be dealt with to make sure that all information is current and accurate. So basically, if the government is to propose this and they're going to put it forwards, they would have to use a map site, maybe Google Maps, to host the maps. Now, they don't own Google Maps, so they're going to need to get permission from them to be able to use it. It's not too much of a hassle, but this can lead to greater deals in the future. So having that ability to update later is very useful. And with all of that in mind, all of this IPT knowledge that's going through our heads, we're finished. All right. Thank you very much for participating with me to help answer the 2015 HSC IPT paper. The very last question. Now make sure you're not done yet. If you're answering it right now, you're not done yet. Go back, make sure everything's good. You still maybe have 10-15 minutes left. If you're unlucky, 5. Just answer all the questions you can, get the highest mark you can, and I'll see you later.